Welcome to part 3 of our session about pTracker and software asset management, where we focus on usage reporting, frequency of usage, as well as non-usage, and data transfer to procurement or contract management. We begin this walkthrough with basic or simple reporting. These simple reports only make use of pTracker's recorder data. The event table contains 20 columns. We already saw the names of these columns. They are listed here under the basic report generator. To define a report on recorder data, we are asked to give it a name and a description and a bit more, as you can see in the upper part of the panel. Using an S, we select fields to be included in the report. In this case, we select a single column, the SMF ID, which is the LPAR or the system. By numbering, we also select columns to be included and determined additionally the sort order. This way we select here the columns called program, library of called program, calling program, and library of calling program. Hence the report is sorted by these 4 columns. The observation period is still missing. This will be specified on the following panel. The report is limited to the time frame of a specified 10 days in 2013. That's it. The generated report can be executed anytime, on demand, or scheduled regularly for any time frames. The output is a sequential list or a comma-separated file. This excerpt shows us that pTracker determines both the called program and the calling program, as well as the libraries where the programs were loaded from. And because this is possible, pTracker can also present calling sequences, as it is shown in the next panel. These staircases visualize the calling order, module by module, which could be of help for maintenance programmers. So much for the basic reporting of pTracker. Let's have a look at more interesting usage or non-usage reports. Usage reports form the basis for software license management. This panel allows to specify various usage reports. The outputs are tables that can be exported as comma-separated files to be used and graphically displayed as spreadsheets. Let's see what can be done. First, we define the time period of the report: 1 year, 1 month, several months, or years. Then, because we want to focus the report on a certain product or several products or all products of a vendor, we specify this. Next, what type of report is required? We could request all 5 types in specifying yes in all 5 lines. We have product usage per product and user ID, or the second option, product usage per product without the user ID. The other 3 options lead to non-usage reports. They list applications or libraries that are not used in the observed time interval. There is a difference between applications and libraries. An application can reside on more than one library, and, the other case, more than one application can be in one library. pTracker generates a job that outputs the required data. The job can be executed regularly by a scheduler or on demand. And this is how report outputs could look like. The first column shows the product number, then comes the vendor, in this example, IBM, followed by a text field, the version, the FM ID, the feature, an indicator for priced feature, and finally the counter, the usage count. The second excerpt is similar. The only difference is that we additionally see the column with the user ID. Now here is an excerpt of a report that gives us products with 0 use count, and that is products or license or applications that were not observed in the requested observation period on that particular day. See the headline. In our example, on the 25th of April. This report is a 2-column report of libraries that were not touched, not used, datasets that had no activity, within the specified time frame. The second report displays what could be called dead wood, modules that have not been touched within the observed time frame of the library acm.soandso.load. How does it look like on a PC, in Excel, OpenOffice, LibreOffice, or under a contract management tool with spreadsheet capabilities? I guess it looks like you'd expect. For this report, we selected a vendor, and we want to see how often the products of this vendor were used. We want to see it on a monthly basis, from month to month, from January as month 1 to December as month 12. Well, that's it, line-wise on the various systems or LPARs for the year 2012. Nothing prevents us to present the frequency of usage graphically as well. This is just a spreadsheet function, so to say. Let's have a look at a more demanding task, compliance. Are we compliant, or have we been compliant with our license agreements during the past months? Here we have a product. Let's call it ABC, in 3 versions. Version 2, Release 4, Version 2, Release 5, and Version 3, Release 1. Version 2, Release 5 is the current release that we pay for. Release 4, let's say, is free, as well as Version 3, Release 1, because it's still under test. And we have our systems, or LPARs, SIP1, SIP2, and SIP3. Let's assume SIP2 and SIP3 are the stronger LPARs, with more MSUs. SIP1 is the weaker one, less MSUs. Therefore, we want Version 2, Release 5, the version we pay for, only on SIP1, on the cheaper system. But this is not true here. On these 2 days, 21st and 22nd, we executed each program version on every system. This is not what we want. We ask installation management to change that. Here we are compliant. There are no more executions on System 2 and System 3. See the zeros beginning with the 3rd line? That is day 23 in column Version 2, Release 5 on SIP2, and column Version 2, Release 5 on SIP3. Therefore, some more executions on SIP1, the 2nd column. Now this is fine. The installation managers fixed it. Well, it would be sufficient for this purpose to have only indication yes or no, executed or not on the particular system. The actual numbers aren't necessary, right? This view on compliance, compliant with license, makes perhaps even more sense to procurement and contract folks. We see usage or some products of certain vendors over 3 months, September, October, November. In this case, it is still a bit more challenging because we have to consider the performance or the capacity of the LPARs, and these are variable from month to month because we have a dynamic LPAR configuration. Let's focus on the month of September. In the first 2 columns, we see selected products and their vendors. The first line shows 5 LPARs, and the row beneath the number of MSUs that have been made available on these LPARs in the month of September 2013. The number of MSUs are taken from the subcapacity report, SCRT, of that month, September. The second last column contains the allowed MSUs from license agreements. The numbers of this column are provided by contract management. Here we assume, as ruled by the license agreement, the deployed MSUs of all LPARs must not exceed a limit. Let's see how it works with the first product, BCV4, which was also executed that month on the 1st and 3rd LPAR, Production 1 and Test 1. Total of MSU is 613. The license limit is 700. Hence, we are fine. It's green. Let's also look at the second line, product BCV5. It was executed on all LPARs except the last one, Development. Total MSUs deployed were 1,198. That's too much, because only 1,100 are allowed, hence red. Here is a similar but different scenario. Again, some products in the vendors. Here, not the total of MSUs are deployed, but the maximum MSUs on a single LPAR is decisive. Hence the rule is, we can execute the application on any LPAR as long as the capacity of the LPAR doesn't exceed a maximum specified in the license. See Product A? It was executed on the 1st and 3rd LPAR, presumably Production 1 and Test 1. The max is 488. Too much because only 400 are allowed, hence red. Product B, second line, largest execution LPAR, delivered 488 MSUs. That's okay, green. Compliant, because 1,100 are allowed. The green or red background color is simply the result of the comparison of MSU limit and MSU max. The color is chosen by the content-based formatting of spreadsheet software. UBS Heiner, the vendor of pTracker, offers services that help set up these things for contract management using the in-house tools at the client's site, normally spreadsheets or contract management systems with appropriate features. As soon as we have the desired data in spreadsheets, we can make all kinds of color graphs. Usage layers. We have reached the end of the presentation. Thank you for listening.